Today's question comes from Jeremy in Pennsylvania. I am doing a will. I'm 55 years old and have a wife and 2 adult children. I'm split between leaving everything to my wife or going ahead and leaving things to my kids as well. There are certain things I want my kids to have, but I don't want my wife to think that I don't trust her to carry out my wishes if I precede her. Is it weird not to leave everything to my wife? I mean, not necessarily. It is her money too, though. I mean, like, it's not just your money and your stuff. It's you guys together. But I think if you were to say, hey, when if I pass away, what would you how much, what does it look like for your life? This is you talking to your wife of what do things look like for you? What will you have? Will you be taken care of? Making sure she's your priority first because your adult children are second in that. And then if everything is fine and good, like I'm okay with you saying, okay, do we want to leave them, X amount and X amounts, but all of that is communicated with her because this is her money too. That's what I would say.
There's 2 things built into your question that are disturbing. The way you state this is almost like there's a possibility this is your second wife and these kids aren't hers.
Oh.
And if that's the case, then, then you've got to have this discussion and go, I'm going to leave you this amount to take care of you and this amount for them because I want to do that. If that's the case. If not, the other thing that may be hidden in here is there's like some reason that
Trust
you feel
issue.
like she's not going to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's been irresponsible or you all haven't been unified in your decision-making on money. And so you have a reason to kind of worry that she's not going to follow through on your wishes. If that's the case, then that's another issue. That's different than a will. That's a marriage issue, a trust issue that you've got to get into.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And so that's 2 possibilities. I mean, the third possibility is as simple as these are her kids, your kids, and you can do whatever you want to do with your money, but it's also hers, as Rachel stated. So we ought to talk about this and just figure it out together. What is your motivation on that? And primary is that she's taken care of. If you don't leave her enough to have a wonderful life because you gave too much to your kids, your grown kids,
strange.
I would not agree with that.
Yeah.
Your primary responsibility is to her.
Okay, so I just thought of this question as we were talking this out. If you did have a second marriage and all grown kids, or even I'd say grown kids.
He said adult children.
Yeah, what is the responsibility if someone is bringing in money to a marriage and they are 1 now, but she has 4 adult kids and he has 2, and they're later in life. You know what I mean? Like, does he have responsibility to leave money to those 4 kids, or it's going to be left to her? So she's probably going to, you know what I mean? Like,
gets really complicated.
Yeah.
Because, second marriage could be 25 years long. It could be longer than the first.
Yep.
And wouldn't be that unusual. So the grown kids are all okay, and he wants first to make sure his new wife is taken care of. That wouldn't be bad.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be bad.
Sure.
So you just got to think that through. But there's no inherent entitlement that these grown kids adult children are entitled, morally, ethically, spiritually, none of that. It's not unusual in a situation with a stepmom, as an example, for the adult kids to resent her getting anything.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a sense of entitlement.
Yep.
That is wrong.
Yep.
That sense of entitlement is wrong. But so, like, I've got a wealthy friend who's in his 70s, got remarried, recently, and I don't know what his estate plan is. But his grown kids are perfectly functional.
Yep.
They don't need anything.
Yep.
So, were I in his situation, I will make sure she's taken care of, and I want to leave some to them.
Yep.
And he's got the ability to do both in that case. So, but what's primary? I think your spouse is probably going to be primary even then.
Yep.
If you had to look at it.
But do you think the step kids are entitled to?
Yeah. Not necessarily, no.
Yeah.
I mean, that's almost prenup stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's the complications of yours, mine, and ours, and it requires even that much more constant communication and discussion about the estate plan. So like your brother and your husband are in an estate planning meeting with me and your mom tomorrow. And Winston is not in my bloodline, but he's married to you and handles a lot of our real estate. And so, yeah, we're going to be there tomorrow talking through, some changes, what we're doing, what's that look like? Everybody's got to be in it, everybody's got to know what's going on.
Am I getting cut out of the will, Dave?
No, not getting cut out of the will. Really, changes. It's so freaking complicated. We have to review it ever so often.
Yeah, no, totally.
Just to make sure we remember what we said we were doing. And
I think that's another piece to this too that I think is important. Another element is as an adult child, right? As we all are, but that's why doing this in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s is setting your own family up, right? Regardless of where your parents depended upon your parents or any messiness that comes out of wills and all of this, like that you are in a position that you're taking care of yourself.
Yeah.
And
any of that's just gravy.
Yes.
Yeah, just gravy on the biscuit. That's exactly right. And then the second thing that comes out of, or another point that comes out of this discussion is, A, you need a will.
Yes.
Everybody does. And 78% of Americans die without a will. Stupid. It's just stupid. Get your will done. Go to mamabearlegalforms.com. Get your will done. The second thing is tell everybody what's going to happen. Like if you've got stepchildren, we're talking about her kids, and she did not bring wealth into the marriage, or she did, and they're going to get hers, but they're not going to get yours, tell them.
Yep.
Tell them. So, or tell them, tell your kids, I'm going to take care of my new wife with this, and whatever's left over, you're going to get. And so they don't go, wow, Go ahead and get all that out of the way. Let's just tell everybody where it is. Go ahead and have a reading of the will. And if somebody's going to be pissed off, let them do it while you're alive.
Yep.
And
another question we get all the time is, how do I help my parents talk about this stuff? How do I get my parents to do a will? How do I start these kind of conversations because of importance? So if you are in that situation, that was in one of my FPU classes when I coordinated it. We're done now, but one of the questions that came through was a lady.
Weeks ago.
Yeah, it was a lady that she said that she was like, my husband's parents told him that he's going to have to be the executor of everything, but he didn't know what's in it, and he didn't, And so I'm like sitting down and saying, hey, we want this communicated really clearly so that your wishes are granted, and your legacy, how you want it, is to be, to be on. So that's a reason to get it.
I refuse to be the executor of something, and I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
That's asinine. It's a secret, but we want you to be in charge of the secret. No, not a chance. Not signing up for your toxic BS. No, thank you. And that's exactly what was going on.
Yeah.
So, no, we're not doing that. We're going to sit down. Everybody's going to know. We're all going to talk about it, and then I can execute. I don't care if I get any money. I'm not after the money. I just want to help you execute your wishes. That's what the executor does, is execute your wishes.
It's like the end of
execute your secrets and your toxic BS, not a chance. Not doing that.